Babine-Witsuwit'en and Nadot'en-Wets'uwet'en is an Athabaskan language spoken in the central interior of British Columbia. Its closest relative is Carrier. Because of this linguistic relationship together with political and cultural ties, Babine-Witsuwit'en is often referred to as Northern Carrier. A Western Carrier.Specialist opinion is, however, that it should be considered a separate, though related, language. A term used briefly in the 1990s is Bulkley Valley Lakes District Language, abbreviated BVLD. The ethnologue uses the bare name Babine for the language as a whole, not just for the Babine dialect. As its name suggests, Babine-Witsuwit'en consists of two main dialects, Babine and Witsuwit'en. Babine is spoken around Babine Lake, Trembler Lake, and Takla Lake. Witsuwit'en is spoken in the Bulkley Valley, around Broman Lake, and in the vicinity of Skins Lake. The two dialects are very similar and are distinguished primarily by the fact that in Babine but not in Witsuwit'en the Athabaskan front velar series have become palatal affricates. Several non-specialist sources classify Witsuwit'en as one language and Babine as a distinct language, either on its own or together with Carrier proper under the name Dakel. Experts on the languages reject this classification. All agree that the differences between Babine and Witsuwit'en are small and that the major split is between Babine and Witsuwit'en on the one hand, and Carrier proper on the other hand. The distinction is because speakers of Babine and of Carrier proper call themselves and the language Dakel, but that speakers of Witsuwit'en do not. Like most other native languages of British Columbia, Babine-Witsuwit'en is an endangered language. It is spoken by a minority of the population, primarily elders. There are 161 fluent and 159 partial speakers of the Babine dialect and 131 fluent and 61 partial speakers of the Witsuwit'en dialect. At most a handful of children speak the language. Phonology. The aspirated and ejective labials are rarer than other consonants. Words and phrases. Source: First voices. Basic word order in Babine-Witsuwit'en is subject, object, verb. The Witsuwit'en verb consists of a lexical root and an aspectual tense, or modal affix, most often a suffix. All Witsuwit'en verbs carry tense and subject inflection. There is no Witsuwit'en equivalent to the English infinitive. Verbs are inflected for direct objects, with the order of prefixing on verbs relatively rigid, with affixes furthest away from the lexical stem displaying more variability. However, Witsuwit'en does not mark for third-person singular subject or object, as demonstrated in the examples below. 1. Yilhne Willick. With 3s plays, 3s was playing with it. 2. Yashia. 3s invited, 3 heights older. They need it. While verbs are marked for tense and inflected via affix markers for subject and object, noun stems are inflected for possessor but do not take case marking, as no case marking exists in Witsuwit'en. These two sets of affix markings for both nouns and verbs draw from the same set of prefixes, except in the case of subject marking on the verb stems. There are another set of markers for subject marking on verb stems, distinct from other pronominal affixes. Bibliography. Hargis, Sharon. Witsuwit'en Grammar, Phonetics, Phonology, Morphology. Vancouver, UBC Press. Curry, James. Babine, A New Athabaskan Linguistic Grouping, Ms. Alaska Native Languages Center, Fairbanks, Alaska. Curry, James and Sharon. Hargis, Dialectology, Ethnonomy and Prehistory in the Northwest portion of the Carrier language area, Ms. Alaska Native Language Center, Fairbanks, Alaska, and University of Washington, Seattle, Washington. Story: Gillian L. Babine and Carrier Phonology, a historically oriented study. Arlington, Texas, Summer Institute of Linguistics. Wright, Richard, Hargis, Sharon, Davis, Catherine, on the categorization of adjectives. Data from Witsuwit'en, Journal of the International Phonetic Association, 32, 43-77, DO 10.1017 S00251003020000142.